For letter I want to look at Isaac. Not so much the person as the name. Because here's the general modern church understanding of how I've always heard people explaining that. That Isaac means laughter, and it comes from this story in Genesis 18 when God is visiting with Abraham. They're outside the tent, and he says, I'll be back a year from now, and Sarah will have a baby. And Sarah is inside, hears that, and laughs and goes, yeah, right, I can't have a baby. And God calls her out and says, hey, why'd you laugh? She goes, I didn't laugh. But, I mean, this is God. You're not fooling him. He goes, yeah, you did. You laughed. And so that's why we have the understanding this. Oh, Isaac means laughter, and it's because she laughed when God said she would have a baby. But I don't think that's right at all. That actually that name doesn't appear anywhere in chapter 18 of Genesis. And the name Isaac was given in chapter 17 when God is apparently giving out names. Because that's when Abram and Sarai get their names changed to Abraham and Sarah. And it's in that same context, and this is when he's only talking to Abraham. This is a separate time that God is, talking with Abraham. We don't know if this was a person standing there talking to him like it was in 18, or how it went down, but it's God speaking to Abraham and tells him then, Sarah will have a son, and he will be the child that's this promise that I've given you. And Genesis 17:17 plainly says, Abraham fell on his face and laughed. But somehow we spiritualize this. We make it, he was worshiping and just going, amazing. But there's nothing in there that says that this was worship. He fell on his face laughing. And instead, in the next couple verses, essentially, he's telling God, don't worry about it. That's ridiculous. I'm too old. She's too old. You know what? We've got Ishmael already. Just go ahead and bless him. That'll work just fine. And God says, no. I'm giving you a son through Sarah, and you will name him Isaac. And that's Isaac does mean laughter. In another sense, it really means he laughs, which sounds like this is directly, basically God saying, oh, you're laughing? Then you can name the kid Laughing. And that happens before this whole thing with Sarah ever went down. She wasn't even around for that. So if Isaac is named for, someone laughing about it, then it's about Abraham laughing, not Sarah. And somehow we completely, modern Christians, we revere Abraham, but so often kind of put down Sarah. Oh, she laughed. She didn't believe God like Abraham did. They both reacted the same exact way. They both laughed. If you fast forward to Hebrews chapter 11, they're both held up with, heroes of faith. Sarah's one of the only women in that list. And it's Hebrews 11:11 says that Sarah, through faith, was able to conceive. It highlights Sarah's faith. And so it's not like, Abraham laughed out of joy and Sarah laughed out of disbelief. There's nothing that indicates that. They both laughed, but they both believed. And so I guess my only point is, please stop criticizing Sarah for laughing. And you know what? If you've ever had God try to explain things to you, a lot of it will make you go, oh my gosh, that could never happen. But you'd be amazed. God does some pretty impressive stuff. But laughter doesn't mean disbelief. Maybe even momentary disbelief. Like in the moment, it certainly doesn't seem that Abraham believed this was possible, neither did Sarah at the moment. But they came around and they believed God. And it's that faith that enabled them to receive the promise.